These are in listen-only mode.
Hi guys, Tony here. If you can just let me know before we get started that you can hear me okay, and we can kick on. I don't want to make this too long a webinar because I know that webinars can drag on for a couple of hours sometimes. That's not the intention here. What we want to do is go through all the training stuff, the best practices and stuff, and get John talking as well about some of his campaigns that we've been doing over the past sort of 4 or 5 days, and just give you something really solid to take away from what we have been doing in the past week. Okay, so just let me know that you can hear me loud and clear, and we can just kick on and take things from there. I'll just move the questions over. Right, everybody can hear me. That's great. Right now, as most of you know, that we had updated Vid Attack Alpha. It's now a 3.0 version. We had completely rebuilt it because no matter what we had tried to do in the past, we just seemed to get outfoxed by Google, and we would get some technical issues, or that we changed some things, or sometimes it wasn't coded well enough to be able to do what we wanted it to do. So we did a complete rebuild, and with this rebuild, it's working really, really well now, and it's one of my favorite tools actually. And the reason it's one of my favorite tools is because it's so easy to use. It's just really, really, really easy to use. And as you can see here with this screenshot you got in front of you, this Google Doc, we've got 5 ranking factors built in with about 5 minutes working. I mean, it's really, really simple stuff, and I'll show you how to do the settings in just a second, and I will get John involved as well. So what we're covering in the sort of Vid Attack Alpha settings, the main part of Vid Attack Alpha, I'm not talking about the RSS Extreme, I'm not talking about the Web 2.0 embeds, and we will also be adding some social sharing into Vid Attack Alpha as well. What I'm talking about is the video views, the high retention video views, and also the blog browsing. Okay, because when we send this, it's kind of fake traffic. I mean, it is fake traffic. When we send that traffic to the blog and it's browsing over a period of time, over a number of posts as well, then we're able to reduce the bounce rate. We're able to improve the click-through rates because it's all coming from Google search results anyway, or from YouTube search results. If you're using video, you've got a choice of YouTube or Google. And what we're doing then is we're able to watch the videos as well inside your blog posts. So it's working 2 ways as well that way. So it's just turned out to be such a fantastic tool for being able to do all of these strategies in one go. Okay, and we've been seeing some, results that kind of surprised me, because I had no idea that getting high retention views on YouTube would increase the rankings for that keyword for the money URL for the blog post. So when I do a video on YouTube, usually it's a tutorial. It's from one of my weekly webinars that we do, and we got another one today actually in about 4 hours from now. We got another white hat SEO one. This is very black hat, this one. And what I normally do is I put a link in there to my blog post. Okay, so I've got my blog post ready at the same time as I'm going to publish my YouTube video. I embed my YouTube video into the blog. So in my description of the YouTube video is always a link to the blog. And this is what really surprised me, is this the first thing I noticed when I first tested this version of Vid Attack Alpha, was that my blog post came into the Google search results on page 3 at the time, and it's now on page 2 for that keyword that I was searching, the keyword I was using to search in Google search results for the video. Okay, so those high retention views actually make a difference to your blog post. Now that was a real big surprise to me, but it's a welcome surprise as well, because when we stumble upon things like that, then we can think how we can ramp this up, how we can make this more powerful. And I'm going to share with you some of the best practices that we've kind of discovered over the past few days, but we've continued to discover as well, because the new version of Vid Attack Alpha is so customizable that it can make a huge difference with and how you choose to use it. So we're testing various strategies over the last few days, and we will share with you in this webinar what we think is working best from what we have seen so far. Okay, so what we're going to cover is how we can use Vid Attack Alpha to increase click-through rates, to get high retention video views, John, I'm going to mute you for a second. I'll unmute you when because I can
Yeah,
hear
no
you in the
problem.
background.
By the way, I can show you my my settings.
Oh, great. Okay, so we'll cover that in just a few minutes then. Yeah.
So
I'll just mute John there because he's sneezing in the background. Okay, so we're going to cover how increased click-through rates can help with your rankings. It is a major ranking factor and it's here to stay. There's no doubt about that. And it's been covered, you know, we're not anywhere near the first to be talking about that. Search engine land, we're talking about that about 2 or 3 years ago as well. So it was something that we knew was a ranking factor, but we just didn't know how important it was. High retention views, everybody's known about that for quite a long time. What we didn't know was that high retention views can increase your blog post rankings as well for that particular keyword if you use Vid Attack Alpha that way. Okay. High retention blog post money URL. So it could be a landing page, it can be a blog post, it can be a sales page, for example. It will spend, Vid Attack Alpha will spend time on the site that you customize it or specify to do that for, okay? But the cool thing here is if you've got that video embedded, the software will start watching the video there, okay? So we'll cover that in the best practices as well because it's really important that we can get that part right, okay? Obviously you've got reduced bounce rate if you're doing that. And the interactivity is needed as well because if you think about this, if you're getting traffic, real traffic, you would expect that you would get some social shares, okay? You might expect that you're going to get some YouTube comments as well, so you can take that into account. I will build social shares into Vid Attack Alpha, but only use the sites that we have added in there if you got high quality content, okay? If not, then you better maybe just to go over to Fiverr and get some social signals from Fiverr.com, okay? But if you're using the ones that we will add into Vid Attack Alpha, that will be just retweet and viral content buzz. Really, you need to have good quality content to get it shared on those kind of sites, okay? But it's real shares and you can get influencers there sharing your content as well, okay? So let's cover some case studies, but you got to remember there's very, very little work involved in this, and John will cover that in a second, how he sets it up, okay? And you know, just a few minutes work. It's not even 5 minutes work, I don't think, from the settings I've seen from what John has done. I found it took me more time just looking for shorter videos in my YouTube channel because most of my videos are over 30 minutes. And then when I found a shorter video, I have to go search and look for rankings so I know what kind of keywords to put in there. But let's have a look at a couple of case studies. John, I'm going to bring you back in at this point so that you can talk about this and how long did it take to get these results, okay? So I've unmuted you again. Let's start with the first one, which was really just one of the first that we had tested. And John has a site called Set and Forget SEO. He does a lot of training and best practices, how to use tools like Video Send Alpha and Optimization Alpha, etc. So John, you had started at number 9 for this keyword. It's not a major keyword, but what we're trying to get across here, guys, is what we're learning, even from not so competitive keywords, because it's the same principles that will apply to more competitive keywords. And it's the lessons that we learn here that can give us the information we need quicker so that we can test it again, and then we can ramp it up for major keywords, okay? John, how long did it take you? How long did you have this running for? How many views did you have this running for the Set and Forget SEO?
okay, initially that was set to 30.
Right.
And I did that. What it does is it just logs into the blog, and it goes and watches the video.
Yeah. Okay.
On it. After the I left it just for 24 hours. And then what I did was I increased it by another 30 for the next 24 hours.
Right.
And that's when we saw the movement. It was moving up.
Yeah, it does take about a day. I've noticed that as well. It does take about a day before we start to see any change in the rankings, but it does happen. It's definitely happening. So John has started here at number 9 on page 1, and then after 25 views, he's there on page 4. Okay, so that's just within a 24-hour period, which is it's telling us basically.
No.
Sorry, John, you want to say something?
Yeah, it's not page 4, it's number 4.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's on number. It was number 9 on page 1, and then it's number 4 within 24 hours. That was just with 30 views at that point. Then you did another 30 after that, yeah?
Yeah, and in fact, when I searched for it now, it's moved above. It's moved up to number 3, so it's moved above that one there that says goinflow.com. It's moved above that one.
Right. Okay.
But I haven't done any more. Haven't done any extra views or anything.
Right. Okay.
So it's my belief if I carry on doing this on a daily basis, just 25. That sort of thing, I could probably get it to number 1 in about a week.
Yeah.
Although Moz might be quite hard to forget, quite hard to shift.
It might be, but you know, this is all done without backlinking, guys. This is all done without backlinking. This is just done with viewing. Okay, this is just done with Vid Attack Alpha. Let's have a look at another one here. And this is another one that John did. Again, it's not a major keyword. It's a little bit more competitive maybe than the last one, but it's the lessons that we learn here that we can take into the sort of major, more competitive keywords. John, how long was this one for?
This one was done, the total test, over 36 hours. It started, it just finished today.
Right, okay.
So let me just have a look. I've actually got the things open. I could actually show you the, if you shared the screen, I could actually show you the settings. But
yeah,
what I did was,
in a second. Okay.
initially I let it go for 30 views, and then it moved up to page 2 from 21 to number 19, I think.
Yeah, 18.
If you just 18.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, now give me 60 views, which was in the following 24 hours, which ended this morning. And today it's at number 5.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, this has gone in 48 hours from number 21, and then it would move to 18 after 30 views. Another 60 views later, he's sitting now on page 5. That's no backlinking. That is just video views. Okay, or just blog browser views with the software. Okay, John, let me share the screen then with you, and while you're talking about the settings, I'll pick out some questions from people who are asking some questions. So I'm just going to change the presenter over to you.
Okay.
Let's see if we can see your screen. You need to accept. You should have a little pop-up asking to share your screen. You see it?
I did accept.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. Do you want to expand it Vid Attack Alpha to make it full screen?
Okay. It's on a big Mac, so that's about as big as I can go.
Right, okay. I'll do mine full screen later.
Okay. Yeah, you can see it's the thing is at 100% it's finished, but it says view count increased 90 out of 90, but initially that was set at 30. So if I go into edit here, and I'll show you my...
you can expand that one, John. Okay.
Can I?
Yeah, you can expand that one. All right.
No, it's as big as it'll go.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, in the settings, I've just got a project name, the video URL, and then the keyword, which is a major buying term when people want to lose weight. You know, they want to lose weight fast. And I put Johannesburg in because that localizes it. Okay. And so the view count here was originally set at 30. So yesterday I came in and I saw it moved up a bit, so I said, let's see if I can just do 60 quickly, you know. So I put it on 90. The delay between views, I don't have much of a delay. It's between 1 and 3 minutes. So what that means is that between views, it's going to select a random time between 1 and 3 minutes before it goes and does the next view. Okay, my retention here I've set very high. So I've said it must watch it for at least 81% to 100%. You do that just by dragging your slider here. and I think this is what gives you the good what gives the good signal to YouTube, is that you are indeed you're moving it. You know, your video has been watched a long time. And so if I wanted to just say, okay, let's do another 30 views today, all I have to do here now is to say increase the views to 120 there. Okay.
Yeah, you add 30 extra in on top of what was there.
Yes.
If you want to edit the campaign, you want some additional views, add the number on top. So if you've done 30 before, it then becomes 60 if you want 30 more, or 50 if you want 20
yes.
more.
And you can see that, yeah, view count increased, 90 out of 120.
Right.
And this is starting to work now. So what it does is it goes and searches in Google to find it. It's now finding it on page 1, where originally it was finding it on page 3. And on the right hand side you'll see the orange circle. That's starting to that's it watching the video. It's not a very long video. It's about, I think, about a minute or something. So what it'll do is it'll do one, and then it'll wait between a minute and 3 minutes before it does the next run, and then this 90 will become 91. And what I've noticed is that the 100% here, that'll only change once it starts viewing the
yeah, that's the overall
video.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks. I'm going to bring the screen back to me, and I'm going to answer some questions as well. So let me just bring this back, show my screen here. All right, so we've got a couple of questions I'll cover right now. Let's just see what we got on here first. Okay, if you put annotations or cards on the video and the viewer clicks away, does that reduce the retention rate? The viewer is automated from the software, so it's not going to click on your annotations. Okay, it's just going to watch the video, and when the video is ended, it will close, and then after that time delay that you've got in between, then it will open again and watch the video again according to the settings that you put in there. Okay, I'll cover some additional setting stuff in just a minute after I've done the questions. Okay, will there be a replay? Yes, there will be a replay. There will be a blog post where we will keep adding more case studies, maybe up to about 5 or 10 case studies as we discover stuff, because there's multiple ways that we can actually use this, which I will cover in a few minutes as well. Okay, 30 views in 24 hours. Yeah, that's correct, Kim. What we are finding is short, sharp bursts daily are a good way to do this. Rather than do a drip feed, do maybe 27, 30 views in a day. Come back to it tomorrow, because it can run through it very, very quickly depending on your settings. Okay, it can run through it very, very quickly. So you can just run this, you know, just as and when it finishes, and just start. You can do 5 campaigns at one time. Okay, let's see. Stunning Con, I don't know how to pronounce your name. You're saying these are all videos from August 2014. Ganti, sorry Ganti, that's a great point. But you've seen at the beginning, he's sitting there at number 21. After 24 hours or 48 hours, he's sitting at number 5 just from using Vid Attack Alpha. Okay, so even if these videos were there from 2014, he was only at number 21. Now he's on page 1 on number 5, just by doing the Vid Attack Alpha stuff. So that's been sat there for, you know, a year and a couple of months, and Vid Attack Alpha has moved it in 24, 48 hours. Okay, drip feed is when you choose to do maybe 100 views over 5 days, so you would get 20 views a day. That's what we call drip feed, so that we're not just getting 100 views at one time, we're kind of spreading them out. That's what that one means. Let's see, can I sequence views so that the software will watch the video 1, then go to video 2 before going back to video 1? No, but you can do different campaigns. You can do 5 campaigns in Vid Attack Alpha at one time. Okay, each thread you can do 1 campaign only. You cannot do 1 campaign over 5 threads. We just found that was one of the major things that was making the older versions not work so well. So what we've done is we've made it that each campaign is 1 thread, but you can have 5 campaigns running at one time, and that's both for the blog browser and for the video viewer the YouTube video viewer. Okay, so if you want to do some kind of sequence like that, then what you can do, what is a better way to do it, is to put more than one keyword in that you're ranking for. You might be ranking on page 3 for a particular keyword. You might be ranking on page 5 for another keyword. Then the software will sort of alternate between those keyword phrases that you put in, find them on Google, start to watch the video, and then it will go on to the next keyword, find it on Google, start to watch the video there. That's a way that we can alternate it there. Maurice, video views is a ranking factor in Google. Yeah, it's always been a ranking factor in Google, I think, for high retention views. What we discovered was that video views, high retention views of a video that has a link to your money URL will increase the rankings of your money URL. So for example, my example was a blog post. Okay, so I've got my video on YouTube and it has a link to my blog post, and my blog post came into Google search results for that particular keyword when it was not there before, and that only came from video views. Okay, let's see what else is in here. Good question about the proxies there. Good question about the proxies. How many proxies do you recommend if you want to do about 30 views a day? If you've got 25 proxies, you can easily do 30 views a day. Okay, and you can do 5 campaigns at one time using those 30 proxies. If you want to go higher numbers, then I would suggest that you need to sort of alternate between different proxies. Okay, so at that time you might want to experiment with sort of lower cost proxies as well. At that time, we find working with script proxies is working very, very well. Okay, but if you want to go and do like 500 views or 300 views, you might need to get more than 25 proxies. John, you're using 50 you used for all of those campaigns. How many campaigns did you do with those?
Let me just have a look.
Because I did quite a few as well. I've got quite a few that I run 100 views on the web browser.
I've done many.
Yeah.
I've probably done about 20 campaigns already.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I just checked the proxies now, and they are working fine, actually.
Yeah. When you've got something like 25 proxies, what you want to do is you want to share those proxies around different campaigns as much as you can, okay? You don't want to, with 25 proxies, you don't want to try and do 500 views, because it's going to be the same IPs again and again and again using those particular viewing those particular videos, for example. I think it's probably more important, but this is just a guess, I think it's probably more important when it comes to the blog browsing that you have more varied, more variation in your IPs, okay? Just my guess. I just got a feeling that that would be the time where we need to be a little bit more careful, even though it's not on Google, okay? What I suggest you do then is, if you got, say, 25 proxies, then do about 30 views a day per campaign, okay? If you can switch about those proxies, if you've got sort of lower cost proxies, or you want to experiment with, lower cost proxies, then test it. But if you have a problem with it, it's probably because they're not as good quality. What you want is elite proxies. You want sort of private proxies that are not really detectable. They don't know if you're using a proxy or not, in other words, okay? Is this a service or a software, John? This is a software. I'm going to show you in just a second. I'll show you some more things about this software in just a second. Okay. Ganti pulled a video from an Android phone that's showing up with Fat West Johannesburg. It's showing only 5 views. Yeah, we're noticing a delay in the views, but that might be mobile views that you're getting there. John, how many views are you showing for this video? Yeah, for the video, yeah. That might just be mobile views that you got there, Ganti.
I'll just do a search here in Google and please wait first.
Smart
I
software.
see he's actually searching for a different keyword there.
Right, but it's the same video or not?
It says fat loss Johannesburg or something.
But it's the same video probably. I've got a feeling he's seeing mobile views there, and instead of
probably
stuff.
Yeah, I'm also seeing only 5 views. So that just hasn't updated yet, obviously.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. That's a question I was asking you the other day. Is your views increasing? Because mine wasn't increasing, not in real time. But when I looked into the actual video section, where you got within YouTube, you got a tab for channel, you got a tab for videos. When I was in the videos tab, it says last updated 4 hours ago, okay? And then later the views started to show, but it should have showed by now. It should have shown by now. So I don't know what's happening there, but it's not affecting the rankings. That's the most important thing, because the rankings have gone up. There's no doubt about that at all. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the campaign, I only stopped it this morning.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well, we'll see in 24 hours, but we'll add that in the case study when we put it into the blog. If you just keep a note of that as a question, that's something that needs to be addressed, that we can address it later once we give it another 24 hours or something like that. Guys, I'll come back to the questions in just a few minutes, because I did promise I would try and get the training part done within 30 minutes, because some people, they don't really want to sit through lengthy webinars. So we can do questions a little bit later as well. Okay, so this is software that I've got in the blog browser. Now, John showed you basically the settings that he had done using the video viewer. Okay, you can see here, if I expand this out, we've got a lot of customization that we never had before. Okay, so what we're doing is we're telling the software how many views we want to increase by. We can put that delay, as John mentioned. If you want to use a drip feed, every time you check one of these boxes, you will find you've got other options in here, so you can do it over 30 days or whatever. I suggest you do not do that, okay? And I'll explain why in just a second. If you want to schedule, say for example, you've got a live event, YouTube live event, or you've got a podcast, or you've got Hangout, you can use the schedule to do at that time as well, which is kind of cool, okay? Now, in the retention rate, what I was doing with the previous versions, I had it between 65 and 100%. That's what we had. It was just sort of pre-built in. What I suggest you do, if you got a short video, move it right up, okay? Move your views, your percentage of how much the video should view. Move it right up to above 90%, okay? I was doing it 95 to 100% the other day with a 30-second video. Most of them were getting done at 100%. Okay, if you got a longer video, some of my videos, for example, are 30 minutes or 1 hour or even longer, then I would do between 65 and 100. Okay, you can do that, and you can, just let it run, even though it's going to take some time to get through. It will help with the rankings anyway. Okay, so that's the blog viewer. But what about that's the video viewer? What about the blog viewer? Okay, you can see in here. Let's just start a new project from scratch here. I've already got some here in the Google Keep. Just grab the Google Keep. If I can find it. So let's take this URL here. And I'm going to put White Hat SEO. I know it's ironic. Okay. I'm going to put in here for my keyword, White Hat SEO link building. I think we're number...
You got SEO twice there.
Okay, thanks. We've got, I think we're on page 3 for that right now for the blog post. So I haven't increased the views for this particular blog post. So what I would do, something like, I don't know, 27. I like to keep it an odd number somewhere in between instead of just an even number. Okay, we'll put a delay in here. Put it between. I'm a little bit more conservative. I like to go with something like 3 and 5 minutes. Okay, I'm not going to enable drip feed. I'm not going to enable schedule. And you can see I've only got one choice of search engine for blog posts, whereas for videos you got a choice of YouTube or Google, so that it can find where you're ranking. Okay. Now, duration to view. This is really important that you get this, because if I want to view, say, between 2 and 3 pages, for example, so between 2 and 3 pages in my blog, it will split whatever time we put in here evenly. Okay. Now, I did do a video the other day, and I thought it was doing exactly the same amount for each blog post, and I need to go back and correct that. So if I say I want to do between 6 and 9 minutes, then it's going to do between 2 and 3 minutes equally for each post that it views, okay? And so this is a little bit more conservative. It's going to take a little bit longer to get through, but all I need to do at that point is just add the project, and it will go off and do it. And you can see here we've got this little tab here, blog browser, hidden or visible. I suggest you keep it hidden. Maybe the first time you use it, then keep it as visible, because you will see exactly what's happening and what it's doing, okay? But if you've already got Vid Attack Alpha, you've probably seen all this before. So, you know, keep it hidden, and it will just keep working in the background, and it won't be intrusive as you're working on your computer, okay? So that's the settings. I mean, this really takes that long. It's not even 5 minutes, and you've got all those 5 ranking factors already built in, which is quite incredible, really. And we can, you know, we can be sure that it's going to help with the rankings. But anytime I've seen a problem with this, and since we had this 3.0 version, it's always been a problem with proxies. That's why we've switched over just to use Squid proxies, and that's the way that we're using that. Okay, so let's see if we get any more questions right now. I'm going to share with you the link how to get the software. Some people are already asking if they can get it, and I will share the link with that. I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood what it's doing, what the purpose is. It's not a white hat software, guys. It's a black hat software, and you know, you need to be aware of that before you purchase. But it is a very, very, very good tool. Okay. Can we use the same proxies to increase views on the same channel? Yeah, but you want to mix it up a little bit after a few days, I would suggest. Okay, Alok, I think it's Alok. Okay, for new videos, should we use video setting only at first, as it shouldn't be found in Google? That's a great question. If it can't find your keyword, then it can't do its job. The whole point of this originally was that we're using click-through rates to be able to increase rankings. This strategy, I first heard of this from Ray, the video guy, and he told me about it, and he shared with me a course that he was doing. I think it was about 2 years ago. And I said to him, I want to build a tool that does this, but we've got to take it a lot further. And we need to be doing the video views as well, and we need some interaction as well. So he agreed, you know, to go ahead and make it, and it sort of evolved from there into what we have today. It's far, far better today than it ever was before. So yeah, it's all about click-through rates. So if you do not have rankings yet for your video, what you can do is you can come over here. You see the Accounts Creator tab in here. You can go to Bulk Profiles Creator. You can choose how many profiles. Say I want to do like 20 profiles. You can see in the profiles how many websites. These are all Web 2.0 sites. Okay, and just with the click of a button, it will go and create a bunch of accounts for you. Okay, so that's going to go off now, and it's going to create another 20 profiles. And there's how many sites in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. There's 14 sites in here. We're never going to get 100%. It's just not going to happen. But you know, we can get close to it. You can see here, going between these, there's quite. Oh, that was a bad one. Must have been the proxies run out at that time. But when the proxies are good, it's pretty consistent. Okay, this can give you a whole bunch of accounts that you can later then go to the Web 2.0 embeds, and you can go and post links and get your videos embedded. Okay, that will improve your rankings. It should do for at least in YouTube. Okay, and then after that you can find your video probably pretty quickly. Okay, this is just a very, very quick way to get some video embeds. Okay, you saw how long that took me to set this up here. Pardon me. That's going to create up to 280 Web 2.0 accounts, and that took what, 5 seconds, 10 seconds to set that up. Really, really powerful tool. Okay, so then we can come over to the poster, and we can just start a new project, and we can basically come into the videos part here, and we can click on, for example, edit here, and you can see here what I'm doing. Okay, you can see I'm putting some description in there, and I'm getting some embeds, backlinks, etc. That should move you in the YouTube rankings at least. Okay, excuse me. John, do you want to say anything about the Web 2 embeds or RSS Extreme? Need to take a quick drink.
Well, RSS Extreme is pretty exciting if you want, if you aren't getting rankings, what that'll do is it'll give you at least 105 different URLs for your video URL for your YouTube, and that'll also be added into FeedSpooner, and FeedSpooner is part of Google, so I mean you're guaranteed if you use RSS Extreme to get your video indexed into Google. And as long as it's in the first, I don't know how far it goes to search, Tony, but I think it's the first 10 pages, is it?
For RSS Extreme?
I think. Yes. No, for the video views when it's searching. Or the
for video views and for blog and for Google search and for YouTube search, yeah, it's the first 10 pages. So if you're not in the first 10 pages, if you use this along with the Web 2.0 embeds, now I've got in the members area, I've got videos. The case study there that you can follow just step by step and the way that I did it. What RSS Extreme is doing, you put in the URL here, okay, it will create 86 different variations of YouTube URLs, okay, so you got YouTube URL for when you're on a desktop, and then you can see here we got something slightly different. We got things like m.youtube.com, that's for mobile. Now, YouTube provide these themselves as 86 different variations that we found, okay? So when it's got all of those, it mashes them into an RSS feed, okay? And we put some Google shorteners and stuff in here as well. And what happens then is when I come over to Chrome over here, I'll just see. So this is that video that I had done a couple of days ago. When excuse me, when that video, when that RSS feed gets posted into FeedBurner, you can see I've got 86 different variations of the video being shown here. This is obviously a mobile version here, but we got this one page with 86 video embeds using all those different variations, which is pretty cool, okay? So what's good to do, what the best practice to do here, again, it's a black hat strategy, it's not a white hat strategy, okay? But it works, and it works like gangbusters. What we do then is we take the same video and we can copy that video and we can put this via the Web 2.0 embeds. Now, for example, if I want to start a new project here with the embeds, let me just call this number 2 just for speed and for lack of typos, because I'm very, very good at doing typos. Okay. Now, when I go into the accounts in here, when I've created a new project, I'll go into the accounts. I can click on import, this button here, and I can just select all and import. And you can see here that's pulled in 186 accounts that we have successfully created. That means I can go and create very, very quickly in the videos tab here. I can go create very, very quickly video embeds to at least, well, maximum 186 Web 2.0 accounts. So when you combine this with the RSS Extreme, it's actually quite powerful. That should get you ranking pretty quickly, and from there you can use the browsers to push your rankings up as well. So we built everything in as an overall strategy here. There's no upselling here either. Everything is included with the software. Okay, we will do a launch with this later, and we will do a front end and some OTOs with additional features to get to this version that you will be able to get a hold of today if you've not already got it. Okay, let's see if we've got more questions in here. Let me see, what's the cost for the software? I'll give you the link in just 1 second, Tim. There's Adrian, sorry. I'll give you the link in just 1 second. Tim, good question. If you've got an old and slow computer, then you're going to have to do probably one campaign at a time. Gunpal mentioned it does something, it takes up about 100 megabytes RAM at a time when it's running, but I'm not finding that. If I go into the task manager here, and you can see here, I've got 121 megabyte. How many campaigns have I got running right now? I can't remember. That's just one. Yeah, that's right, yeah. It's about 100 megabytes per campaign. So you might have to do one campaign or 2 campaigns maximum at a time, but even that can be done quickly depending how you want to do your settings. Okay, video retention percentage change in a random fashion. No, it's exactly what you want it to be. So if you want to do between 65 and 100%, then it will be random between those two figures, okay? If you want to do 95 to 100%, then it will be random between 95% and 100%. You've got full customization of the software to be able to do that, okay? Clifton, if you got videos on all 3 blog posts visited, will it watch all videos? That's a great question, and that really depends on your settings, Clifton, because in here, what you want to do is you want to make sure you allocate enough time. You can see in here duration to view. Okay, you can see I've chosen between 2 and 3 pages to visit. If it's doing between 6 and 9 minutes, then it's only going to do between 2 and 3 minutes. So if you've got a video there, then you want to make sure that if you want it to view the video, which it's going to do anyway, then you've put enough time in there to give it some, sort of high retention view from the embedded video. Okay, but actually I did a mistake the other day with this, and I thought that this was going to do between 2 and 3 minutes for each page, and it wasn't. It was doing like 30 seconds in the end for each, because I hadn't set long enough time for the time visited on the site for all the posts that it was going to view. And so I was getting about 30 seconds, but I still got increased rankings, which is kind of crazy, which tells me what it might indicate, in my view, is that bounce rate is not as important as click-through rate, okay? Because it couldn't possibly have a very good bounce rate at that rate, just 30 seconds, okay? Does the software show up as a desktop or mobile device? Is it showing up as a desktop or mobile device? That is a great question. I'm actually not sure. I would guess it's going to show up as a desktop. I will ask a coder, because that gives us another variation that we might be able to add in later as well. We might be able to make it look like mobile as an option as well. But at the moment, I'm guessing it's desktop only. Yeah, there's training in the members area. Can we do video embeds with Vid Attack Alpha? Yes, you can, Kim. I just covered that with the Web 2.0 account creator. Okay. Does the software time delay embeds to the Web 2.0 sites? Yeah. Actually, I missed some important settings there for the Web 2.0. Let me just show you something in here. When we go into the options over here, you can see we got some, when we're in the campaign, for example, you can see here we can add our videos, we can add our accounts, we will get our results as it shows up here. Okay. But in the options here, you can see that we can ping and automatically index those URLs, and we can even choose to link build them. If you want to put a link to the previous video uploaded or embedded, you can do that as well. But this is important here, okay, the long tail syndication keywords. Now, if you've got any of my other tools, you're probably familiar with this, but this is such a good strategy that I rarely leave this out of any tool now. I just think it's too important. What we're doing here is we're using three elements of commercial intent keywords. Okay, this is what I call the front end modifier. This in the middle I call the main keyword. Okay, and the end modifier can be a location, or it can be a sort of end part of a keyword phrase. So what am I talking about? If I click on preview here, you see it takes one word from here, takes one word from here, and it takes one line from here as well. Okay, so I've got here video SEO checklist. Okay, and if I click preview again, YouTube SEO optimization checklist tool. Okay, preview again, video SEO checklist, preview again, video SEO optimization cheat sheet, video optimization cheat sheet. It just keeps changing and interchanging. Okay, now how this works, the way I do it is basically I go to Google and I take all the modifiers that I can find from the Google Keyword Planner. Okay, and I put those first words in here. So for example, if I'm doing for a plumber in London, I might have emergency plumber in London, 24-hour plumber in London. In that situation, the first words like emergency, 24-hour, they are going to be the front end modifiers. Okay. Okay, so then you would have in here something like plumber and plumbers as in plural, for example. And then here you might put some locations. You might put London W1 or Central London, North London, etc., etc., and it will do all that combination. So if I've got 2 here and I've got 3 here, it gives me 6 times 6 times 12 times 15. 6 times 15, that means I've got 90 combinations here. Okay, so what happens if we choose inside the Web2 embeds to include the long tail SYN keywords? What that means is that when we're adding details of a video, okay, when I go to add details of a video, right, okay, well, I want to put in a title and I want to put in a description, okay. I need to put in the first title, so what I might do in this situation, just put YouTube SEO, for example. Now, as long as I put that first title in there, every other post after that is going to be using one of those long tail SYN alpha keyword variations, okay. And this is really important because, you know, with the changes that happened a couple of years ago about having exact match anchor text and stuff like that, what we want to do then, the next most important thing to the anchor text, or actually more important these days, is the title, okay? So if we can do that variation in the title, we've got to treat it the same way as we would put variation in the anchor text. Does that make sense? We want to put variation into our titles as well as our anchor text when we're doing sort of mass syndication, when we're doing mass video embeds. Those titles are very, very, very important, and we're taking these keyword phrases and these, you know, the elements of the keyword phrases, we're taking them from Google themselves. So Google are telling us how to optimize our content. We're using these different variations, and most of the time you've got commercial intent keywords when you do it like this, okay? They just turn out to be commercial intent keywords and long tail keywords as well. So you'll find that you're ranking for a whole bunch of keyword phrases that other people are just not able to compete for because they don't have this kind of technology or this kind of strategy. And it just gives you that variation that you need today when we're doing SEO, so that we're not doing, you know, too much exact match kind of keyword phrases, but instead what we're doing with those titles is we're changing the title every single time, but they're highly relevant, okay? So when we're doing that, then we can put in here again our titles, our modifiers, our keywords, our locations, etc., etc., okay? And you can just sprinkle that for your descriptions, okay? It's pretty cool. This is really, really powerful when we're doing our options, because we've got instant pinging. Sorry, my throat is going. We've got instant indexing, and if you choose, you can do link wheels. I tend not to do that so much these days, the link wheels for the Web 2.0, but it's there if you want to use it, okay? I see we've got more questions in here. Replay will be on my blog on anthonyhayes.me. It will be there by sometime tomorrow, American time. Okay. Does the software time delay the video the Web 2 embed yet? We got in video embeds. No, it doesn't. We haven't got a time delay in here, John. Can you make a note to get going, pal, to add a time delay? We really should have one in here. If you can just make a note for me, thanks. And we will get that added in there. We should have. Scott, yes, it's training. I've done a case study, and you can see the training. I'll show you inside, actually, inside the member area. And you can even go into the members area right now. I haven't logged in. Okay, so you can just go to Vid Attack Alpha.com/downloads. I'll put this into the chat box. You can go in there and have a look at the videos. Okay, when you're in the downloads page, you need a license key, obviously, to be able to use the software. But when you come down here, you see number 4 at the bottom here says video tutorials. Go in here, and you can see exactly how I did my case study. So, you know, start with the settings, go and get some Web 2.0 accounts created, use how to use a rank checker tool if you want to find out if you're ranking for a particular keyword for your videos, and then how to use the video viewer. I've got a couple of videos how to use that, how to use the blog browser, RSS Extreme, etc., and the Web 2.0 embeds. Everything is in order, starting from left to right, okay, all the way down, and it's a case study as well, okay. And I put some additional tips in here as well. Just stuff that I noticed as we were going through that would be a good idea for us to be able to use, okay? So you can just go over there now if you want to and have a look at them, and you know, feel free. All my training, guys, is always free, so you get a lot of training as well on the blog on anthonyhayes.me, okay? I sent that privately. Should not have sent that privately. How did that happen? And it's sent to all entire audience. Yeah, okay. Entire audience, hasn't that? So you can check out the tutorials there. All right. So we got quite a few people asking how they can get a hold of the software. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you this. And just find the Google Sheets again. I'm going to share with you the Google Sheets. Okay. And you can find the link inside the Google Sheet as well. Okay. But the link is, if you go to bit.ly/Vid Attack. Okay. bit.ly/Vid Attack. I'll put that into the chat box as well. Okay. There we go. And I put a discount in there for the next 3 days, 10% discount for next 3 days. Okay. But very, very good tool. And, you know, it's such an easy tool to use. It's really, really not time consuming. It's just really simple to use. And we put some additional stuff in here as well. Some additional information. Let's cover some best practices. This is what I've seen so far in the last few days since we really started to be able to use this this tool properly as it was always meant to be used. You need to use country-specific proxies if you want to do geo-targeting. If you want to rank in UK, then you need UK proxies. It's going to help you a lot more, okay? It doesn't mean you cannot rank if you're using American proxies or worldwide or European, but it's going to be far better for you if you're using UK proxies if you want to rank in UK. That happens sometimes. A lot of people might think that's a little bit strange. I can remember a while back, it was about 4 or 5 years ago, we took on a project that we wanted to rank about 30 different websites based in London for different businesses, and one of them was for divorce lawyers. And at that time it was really about quantity of links, and we were hammering the hell out of this promotion, this campaign for divorce lawyer London type keywords, and we couldn't figure out why we were not ranking. And then we went into Webmaster Tools and found it was set to USA. The guy who had built the sites for us actually had it set to USA. As soon as I changed that to UK, we went to #1. So we probably wasted quite a lot of time and a lot of money because of that was set for USA instead of UK. And that sat there for, you know, a long, long time. And the idea was that we built these sites out, we get them ranking, and we start to rent them. That's what we were doing with that particular project. But you need to be careful of that kind of thing if you're using Webmaster Tools or Google Search Console, as it's called now. Just check your settings are correct, okay? If you're using, if you want to do larger campaigns, you need to think about the amount of proxies that you're using with this tool. This is a time when you really should be trying to experiment a little bit, maybe try and get some cheaper proxies, or even share proxies with a friend, okay? If you're in the Facebook group, you can say to somebody, like, I've got 25 proxies, I've already used them for 10 campaigns of my own. I don't want to use them for my own videos again, can I swap with you? Do something like that, and that way you can keep your costs down. If you go into the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/alpha SEO, I'll put that into the resources down here. So HTTP. That's actually a good idea to do that. You can swap proxies. So if you've got 25 and somebody else has got 25 and you've already used them quite a lot for your campaigns, switch your proxies over so you're not watching the same videos with the same proxies. You can find that in the resources. Also in the resources tab, slide at the bottom here, number 7, you can find a link to get a hold of the YouTube SEO checklist Chrome extension. I've also got a new one which is a blog promotion checklist. You can get that as well. And some other stuff for social shares, which I've covered in a lot of detail, these things over the last sort of 5 or 6 weeks with the white hat SEO stuff that we've been doing weekly. And there's been some good training there. You should go into the blog and find that training. There's been some great resources shared and good strategies shared, etc. And you can get some really good information for free, guys. Information other people will be charging you quite a lot of money for, believe me. You know, just some people will be doing courses and selling at $197 each course. But you know, what I do is I give a lot of free training away, try to give away a lot of free tools, because my business really is a software business. It's not really an information product business. I use the information to be able to get a bigger audience. And then, of course, like any marketer, we upsell. So you're going to find some good resources in here. And this one actually in here, this narrow.io. This is an incredible tool. It's very, very cheap. It costs about $9 a month. And you just put in some various keywords and stuff, and it will go and like and retweet and share things in tweets and Twitter. And what you find is it converts very, very high to get people following you. I've got a 29% conversion just by using this tool. It's really clever tool, and it's really cheap as well. I think they've even got a free version. And these two as well are very good. Just retweet and viral content buzz. Very, very good for being able to get some, you can get influencers on these two sites. And Smarty, she owns viral content buzz. And often she will retweet my stuff, which is pretty cool because she's got a big audience. Okay. Right, let's see if we get any more questions. And Gant, is it the same as Video Send Alpha? No. Video Send Alpha is doing video syndication. This has got the Web 2 embeds, but Video Send Alpha has so much more. Okay, we can do YouTube link rules. We can do video sharing site posting. We can do Web 2 embeds. We've got our own networks as well. We've got our own sort of private network of video sharing sites. I think we've got about, is it 50, 40 video sharing sites in our own network as well. Video Send Alpha's got a huge amount of different other stuff as well. It's a very, very good tool. Kim, yes, with account creation for Web 2.0, you would use proxies, but do the first sort of 4 or 5 profiles without proxies, and you will find you get a really good success rate, and then switch over to proxies. Okay. Okay, let me see what else we got in here. Hi. Excuse me a second. My dog has just jumped in here. John, do you want to just talk about the difference with Video Send Alpha and hold on a second.
Hi. Talking about Video Send Alpha is a totally different tool.
Oh, funny. Sorry, my dog's in the background here. She's a little bit sick. And she's coughing and spluttering there in the background. Yeah, as I was saying, Video Send Alpha and this is two different tools completely. This is mainly based on viewing and click-through rates on high retention views, etc., whereas Video Send Alpha is focused on syndication. We did put the Web 2.0 syndication in here because it goes well with the RSS Extreme. We've seen that in the past. I think we've even got a bunch of case studies on that one as well, where you combine those two together, and it's really, really powerful, okay? So it is quite important that we can put those two together when it makes sense in a video ranking software, okay? But whereas Video Send Alpha is doing so much more, I mean, it's really, really doing a huge amount more. It's doing bookmarking as well, and some other stuff too. Okay, let's see if we've got more questions in here. Any possibility of integrating with HMA? That is something I'm not sure about, John. I don't think that that's going to work. That would work for something like doing account creation, but not for the viewing, because the viewing happens a little bit too often for it to be able to do that. Okay. And how would you use this with Money Robot or SendWire? Well, if you're using any of those tools, then you can still run those to your video and still do your drip feeds, tiered linking and SendWire or Money Robot. But I have already built in some Web 2 syndication for you. And I don't know if SendWire has got an account creator, but you saw how easy it was for me just to set up another 20 profiles there, up to 280 accounts. I mean, it was really 2 clicks of a button, wasn't it? So you might want to use that. Okay, let's see. Can proxy IPs be loaded from a spreadsheet? No, John, he's actually left now. So no, that you just import them the way they're given to you from your proxy provider. Tim is saying, I know that you're talking about black hat, but what have been the consequences of one getting caught, and is there a percentage of users being outed? Well, this 3.0 version is really the first version to work as well as, you know, what it should have been for quite a long time. So we haven't found any problems with it. I think what you're going to find, the worst thing that could ever really happen is maybe YouTube would just remove a video. I don't think you're going to get too much problems. If you're doing the blog browsing, then you want to be careful there, but you want to just do short bursts of views. When I say short bursts, then, you know, something like 27 or 33 views or 34 views or something like that, and then just do, you know, a campaign to one blog post each day, something like that. It's really depending on how on your proxies. This tool really depends on good quality proxies, but if you're sharing your proxies with someone else, like I mentioned before, someone else has got 50 proxies and you've got 50, and you've used your proxies for all your campaigns and you don't want to use them anymore, and he's done the same for his, then ask to swap, because you're just using another 50 proxies without buying 50 more. He can use yours because those proxies have never sort of browsed or watched his videos, and vice versa. That would be the quick, easy, cheap way to do that, and that's what the Facebook group is there for, to help people to communicate with each other. Okay. Bruce, looks really good. I like all your stuff. Hope it's not too pricey. Well, I priced it at a reasonable price, and you know, I know somebody else has got a similar kind of tool to this. I don't know how good it is performing his tool, but he's selling for $997. I think we priced this reasonable, like we do with all our alpha tools. You know, when we do a launch, like for JVZoo launch, for example, it's different from when we release a software to my subscribers, because I give you the full version, okay, and we will come back and we will add more to it, we will refine it, we will make it better, etc. But you get the full version here. When we go into a launch, for example, in JVZoo, this is likely to be priced about $47 just for the front end, which would be the video viewer. Then another $67 if you want to add the blog browser. Then another $97 if you want to add the Web 2.0, etc. And it just builds up and builds up as you go through all of those upsells and OTOs for the RSS Extreme, etc. So it comes way over what you would be paying today. Okay. Ganti, when was it released the first time? We had a tool called Search and Click Commando before Ganti, and then we upgraded it, we redesigned, and we tried to fix some bugs that we had, but some of the bugs kept coming back when we had the first version of Vid Attack Alpha, and that was only about 6 or 8 weeks ago. So we decided to completely rebuild it, and that's what Gunpow's been working on since the optimization alpha software was created, and now we got something that's really, really good. And the last two softwares have been, the last 3 or 4 softwares actually have been really, really very good. But we did have a problem with the first version of this one, and we had to completely recode it. But now it's working well, and now we're happy with it. And we're going back over to optimization alpha to start adding more stuff in there over the next week. Okay. Does this software 100% support Hebrew language? The software is viewing the videos. Okay, it doesn't. If you've got a video on YouTube, then it's going to be searching for the video in YouTube or Google search results. If you're using proxies from that country that has that language, for example, I'm in Thailand. Okay, so if I go to use Google in Thailand, it will give me Google search in Thai language, but I can choose the option to switch to English if I want to. More often than not, I have to take that option because it comes automatically in Thai language. Okay, so it really depends on the proxies is the answer for that one, Alec. Let's see. Can I put link in the chat? Yes, of course I can. Yeah, let me just find the link here. Just copy the link here. There you go, John. as a link, and I'll make that go to everybody. Okay. Yeah, Steve, the link is there. Just put it in. I'll give you it again. This is a lifetime option guarantee, yeah. Do you have training on setting up proxies? You just go to, just buy the proxies. If you go over to Squid Proxies, for example, I've got a 25% discount coupon code in the last slide as well. You can get 25% off. So if I go over to Squid Proxies and I go into the private proxies, let me just see where we log in here. It's not accepting that yet. Let me just go to, where's the private proxies part? Proxy login, that's what I'm looking for. There's two things you need to do when you're doing this. Let me just show you quickly. This one. I think this is the latest one. I've got so many of them. When you're in Squid Proxies, for example, you will see this tab here. It says authorized IPs. Okay. You click on that and you will see your IP at the top here. If this is not in this box here, then you just simply click here to add to the authorized list, okay? And then click the submit button. Then you come over to the assigned proxies. Just copy, just Control A, Control C, come over to the software, go to where it says proxies, click on the little green plus button here, paste it exactly the way that it was given to you by Squid Proxies and add them, okay? I'm not going to do that, I've already got them in here. Okay, that's how it works, and then you can start checking your proxies. But give it a couple of minutes. If you've just authorized your IP, it needs some. It will need some time to propagate. Okay. Do the blog views show on Google Analytics? Yeah, I would imagine that they would. And I was actually thinking the other day about this, that we should put some kind of integration with Google Analytics in there, so that you can see, you know, you can see some stuff from Google to get some more information. Okay, Tim, thanks for information. I told you I'm famous for doing typos. You just cut me out again. Just retweet. Just, yeah, I missed the T there. Retweet.com. Thanks for that, Tim. What's the sales page for Video Send Alpha? If you go to anthonyhayes.me, I don't know, I'll type it in here. HTTP anthonyhayes.me get video send alpha. Okay. There you go. I'll send it to everybody in case anybody else wants to take a look. Ganti, yes, this is a lifetime license for this tool, and yes, you can run on a Windows VPS. Have you, what's that, Damon? Have you tried to see what effect views through the embed does for the money site rank? Yeah, we're still kind of testing it, but you know, I think it's going to work vice versa, where when we get high retention views and we got a link in the description, it's actually improving the rankings of that blog post from the link in the video description. I think it will work vice versa as well, because when you get views from embedded videos, YouTube calls them referral views, okay? And as long as you get high retention there, then it's going to help. It should help for the same kind of keywords. But we're still needing to do a huge amount more testing, but what we're seeing right now is very, very promising, and we can scale this up just with a little bit of information that we've learned in a few days. We can scale this up quite significantly as well. Okay. Do you have any Fiverr guys that are trained in your softwares? Tim, you might find some people selling some gigs for Video Send Alpha, for example, on Fiverr. I don't know. You just have to check on there. Okay. Steve saying I can't hear anything. I think it's just you, Steve. Unfortunately, I don't know what to suggest. Maybe leave the webinar, come back in again and see if it helps. but you won't even hear me saying that, will you? Poor Steve. You can see the replay, Steve. I'll just say watch your replay here. Just type that too. All right. Adrian saying he loves Video Send Alpha but doesn't use half the options. I think a lot of people are doing that. I like that as well. You find a favorite part of that tool and tend to use that one part of it. But it's a good tool and it's been well thought out, that particular tool. So you should play around with the other parts as well. Yeah, there's a replay, and the replay will be on my blog on anthonyhayes.me by tomorrow morning, your time, if you're in America. Okay. Okay, Tim loves the training and all the tools. Thank you. And Alok, is one thing not clear regarding the proxy. If I paste all 25 proxies, how can I know which already been used for a specific campaign? Well, they all get used. Alok, if you're going to do, let me just open the tool up here. It's easier to explain. So for example, I've got in here, I add a new project. Okay, and when I go into the settings in this project, if I want to do, say, 33 views and I've got 25 proxies, that would be okay, that would be acceptable. Some people in the same IP might go back to the same web page. I do that often. I'll go back to a web page later. Okay. So if you've done that for 33 views with 25 proxies, then you could probably get away with another sort of 20, 27, 33 again. But what we're suggesting you do, talk to other people in the Facebook group. They're going to have the same situation as you have, okay? So if they've got 25 proxies they've already used for the campaigns, then, and they want to get more views, swap your proxies over, okay? Just do a deal with them. It's not money changing hands. You don't need to buy more proxies. He needs to get more proxies. You need to get more proxies. So just simply switch them over, okay? Just talk to some people in the Facebook group. We should probably actually start a little fan page just for that one purpose, where people can swap the proxies around and get more value from, you know, that one-time purchase or that monthly purchase you do for proxies. Okay. Video Send Alpha is now it's monthly with the network embeds now, Kim. But if you go over to JVZoo, actually, you can get it. Let me get the JVZoo link. It costs $197 for the one computer license if you don't take the network embeds upgrade. And the network embeds is our own private video sharing sites network, okay? But on JVZoo, I've got a couple of one-time purchase offers in here. I'll just get the links for you. Just seeing here. Video Send Alpha. Just make sure these buy buttons are there. That when you go over to my site, you see that thing called a welcome mat that comes down. That is actually very, very effective way to do list building. I've got something like 500 people opted in within about 2 weeks of using it. Yeah. So Kim, I'll put a link in here, and you can see for the JVZoo where it's a one-time cost, okay? But I'm sure I had more options there for that. Just bear with me a second, I'll see if we've got another one in here. Yeah, I've got for 2 computer license. That's the only one I've got in JVZoo. If you want a 1 computer license at $197, then I will put that in there, and I'll add that by tomorrow US time. Okay, because the only option in JVZoo right now is for 2 computer license, but I can make a 1 computer license for $100 cheaper. Okay. Yeah, we got a countdown timer, Ganti, for the discount. Okay, there's a discount coupon there, 10%. When the timer ends, I might extend it for another couple of days because people will be watching replay a little bit later. I tend to do that often because people always come back and say I didn't get time to buy it or I didn't have enough money at the time. So I do extend it from time to time to let people get in. Will there be a replay posted? Yes, there will be a replay by tomorrow. George, if you've already got Search, if you already purchased Search and Click Commando, this is an upgrade for you. This is just a free upgrade. You just need to send an email to support with your purchase ID from JVisa or Zaxa, and they will give you the upgrade. Okay, this is an upgrade for Search and Click Commando customers. Okay. Can you increase the number of Web 2.0 sites? Only what's in there, there's 14 sites, but you can do as many profiles as you like. You saw me set up 20 profiles in a couple of clicks. You could easily have, you know, set up 40 or 50. Yes, you can upgrade to another computer license, you know, after you purchase the first one. That's not a problem. Just contact the support and they will help you. Okay. Okay, I think we've gone through most of the questions, guys. So unless you get any other questions, I think we can probably just wrap up now. But thank you very, very much for attending. And, you know, I hope you see the value of this tool. It's such a good tool and very, very easy to use. We don't need to think too much about backlinks. We've already got backlinks already built in here as well with the Web 2 embeds. And everything's super simple and very fast to use. And it's working really, really well as well. Okay. Great. Thanks for your time, guys. Thank you, John. And I'll speak to you a little bit later. I do have another webinar in about 3 hours from now. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. That is for white hat SEO, completely different from this. But I'm giving out that blog promotion checklist, which is in the final slide of the slide that I just gave you, the Google Doc that I just gave you. What we will be doing on that webinar, I'll be talking about those different blog promotion strategies and how you can use the Chrome extension effectively, okay? And those webinars are typically just 30-minute webinars, just straight to the point, no fluff, get the training out, let people ask some questions, and then we finish up within about 30 minutes, okay? So you're welcome to join that if you want to. If you just look in the email you received to get the invitation to this, at the bottom you will see there's a banner there that says White Hat SEO. Just click on that and that will get you into the webinar at 7 p.m. Okay, thanks. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.